Yeah, hi Rohit. एक तो लिंक भेजा है, एक लिंक भेजा जा रहा है 15 Yeah, hi, welcome Vikas, welcome Rahul.
Yeah, hi Piyush, how are you?
I'm great. How about you?
Yeah, all well, all well. Thank you so much for inviting us.
So just wait for 5 minutes. A couple of other
Sure,
guys are joining in.
sure. I'm waiting. No problem.
Welcome, friends. Sorry to call you on such a short notice. Today we have with us Mr. Vikas Vadekar. He heads the passive fund section, sales and distribution side for Motilal Oswal AMC. And it's a very quick 15-20 minute call on their current NFO, which is happening on the asset allocation fund. So a lot of things are changing from the investment point of view, the kind of themes which we are seeing, the assets, uh, the way the mix of assets is changing. So this is a very, a small private call between couple of our branch managers and relationship managers who are very active in the mutual fund sales and distribution side. So I'll quickly introduce you to them. So from Motilal Oswal, we have Mr. Vikas Vadekar and we have Mr. Rohit with us. And welcome Vikas and Rohit to this forum on such a short notice. We'll be delighted to know more about your offerings in this upcoming 15-20 minute session. Then because we have today with us Mr. Abhijit Sinha. He heads the Delhi branch for Prabhudas Leeladhar, and he's quite active on the mutual fund space as well, because we basically are a broking oriented firm, so still cross selling other products and that challenges we're still navigating. So Abhijit plays a
Correct.
key role in mutual fund distribution. Then we have Mr. Mohan Raj. Mohan Raj is the state head for Tamil Nadu as well as the branch head for Chennai. He has almost like 40 relationship managers with him, and he's very active in the mutual fund sales. We have Mr. Pankaj Reshta. Pankaj basically is one of the oldest in our entire team who initiated and expanded the mutual fund desk. So Pankaj takes care of the NRI services as well as the Mumbai clientele group, which is the private group for Mumbai, and he takes care of the AMC relationships as well. Then we have Mr. Bhavesh Maniyar from Ahmedabad in the name of Paresh Shah. The login name appears in Paresh Shah's name. Then we
Right.
have Mr. Ravi. Then we have Mr. Ravi Godia, who's the cluster head for Mumbai. And Ravi's team consists of Mr. Fulchand Jaiswal and Deepak Sahrao. They are also there, and Dhaneshwar Sable. They're all in this call. Plus from Hyderabad, we have Mr. Rajnikant Kurupeli. He heads the entire channel partner division in the Andhra and Telangana area. Plus, we have Mr. Vinay Chola. He also heads the entire channel partner division in the north. He sits out of Delhi. And then we have Mr. Sachin Gupta and Mr. Sumanta Samandar and Rahul from Calcutta. So Sumanta, you must be also aware of. Sumanta actually was a part of Motilal Oswal's PCG team earlier, wealth team, and possibly would have been interacting with you. And then we have Mr. Tony Nawani, who heads the advisory desk in Mumbai for HNIs on the capital market division side. So, with this brief introduction and with this small group, we'll like to get started with you. So, over to you now.
Yeah, thank you, Piyush, and thank you all senior management team of Prabhudas Leeladhar. Happy to be with you. So, and thank you so much for giving us this opportunity in a short notice. So, I'll not, so waste a lot of your time, but two, three things I want to mention here. This product is actually more than a product; is a research that we have been doing. This is one of our key strategy which we have been talking for last 1.5 years. So I'll take 1 minute to tell you at Motilal Oswal what we are doing. So Motilal Oswal AMC, you all must be knowing that we are very active on the PMS and the active side space. Focus strategies. M35 is one of the great example of Motilal Oswal AMC. But 2 years back, we also started very aggressively on the passive funds. Okay, passive funds without index funds, ETFs. This business is headed by Pratik Oswal, Motilal's son, and I head sales here. So what we have done, we have created a 10-member sales team across locations. All senior members are part of the team, and we also have 4 members as part of research team. So we are creating a lot of data and how we simplify things. The whole objective is to how we simplify things, how we give all solutions where it will not confuse advisors and it will not confuse investors what to do. And we don't get into an argument of why active and passive. No, we only talk about the passive benefits. And asset allocation is something which we have been working on for last 1.5 years. And this product is actually outcome of our research. And I'm sure that you will definitely like it. I know I am okay if you don't sell this product, but there are a lot of slides which are so powerful, which you can share with clients and talk to them about why asset allocation is important. Okay, we have created like last 20 years data on what is strategic asset allocation, what is your tactical asset allocation, which strategy suits you better. So let me quickly share this my presentation. 1 second. So my screen is visible.
Yeah, Vikas.
Yeah. Okay. So quickly, strategic allocation is actually, when you decide a particular weights in the client's portfolio of different asset classes and keep it constant. That is what is called a strategic asset allocation. Tactical, there are two examples that we have mentioned in front of your screen. If you keep chasing last year's winners, these are 13-year data. This is actually Indian, this is actual data. 4 asset classes we have taken: Nifty 500, which is domestic equity, US equity, S&P 500, 5-year GSEC, and gold. If you keep on investing into the best asset class, which was previous year's best asset class, see your returns. If you keep on investing into worst asset class, it's like equity didn't do well last year, you invested in equity next year. Okay. Likewise, your returns are better. But when you do asset allocation of equal 4 asset classes, equal 25, 25, 25, 25, and just keep rebalancing it every January calendar year, okay, over 13 years, see the results. Strategic allocation actually is a allocation which you do in client's portfolio and hold it for the entire lifetime of in client stayed invested or lifetime of the fund. Okay, and this is a better strategy than tactical asset allocation. Okay. I am not denying that you need active strategies, you need dynamic strategies. I'm not denying that, but when you have a strategic portfolio in your product, what happens? There's some of the slides I'll be able to present. Now this is another study, BHB study. It's a very popular study. This paper is available. You can see this paper is available on net. You can download this. This again emphasizes that your returns on the portfolio of client are determined by the asset allocation. What is a mix of debt, equity, probably gold, real estate, or international investments they have, and very less importance to market timing, security selection, other factors. Okay, so that again talks about the importance of asset allocation. Now, when we have to do asset allocation, how do we do asset allocation? How do we choose assets? So assets are chosen based on their correlation. If you see the slide, Nifty 500 correlation with 5-year GSEC or S&P, which is US, and gold, which is less than 20%. Less than 50% correlation is good enough, but these have a very, very low correlation, less than 20%. Gold is even negative. When you have such products, asset classes put together, the outcome is very different. In fact, I would like to show you by a graph. Now see here, we have taken Nifty 50, next 50, the mid cap 150 and small cap 250 index. All are equity and all are domestic equity. You can see the trend is same. Okay, this is like again 15 years data. These are called highly correlated asset classes. Okay, assets. But when you see gold, international, your debt, and domestic equity Nifty 500, see how they are moving differently. This is called low correlated assets, and when they come together, they perform better. Okay. Now, more than performance, what we need, and you all will agree to me, always clients keeps asking, boss, what are my losses? When any panic situation come, what are my losses? In fact, the next grid will talk to you about, you must have seen this many times, where we have taken 4 asset classes: gold, fixed income, domestic equity, and international equity. And winners keep changing. How do we choose a best winner? Right. So your portfolio, with the portfolio allocation, when it's the real asset test is how does it behave when markets are in panic situation. Like 2006, when fixed income gave 4% return only. Okay, your portfolio gave 20. So there are two studies that we have done, aggressive and conservative. Okay, so it is their performance. 2008, equity did pretty bad. How your portfolio showed a reaction to it. 2011, equity was again 26% down. Your portfolio was 5-6% or almost not even 1% down. Okay. Recent example, 2018, when equity was 2% down, how your portfolio behaves. Okay. So how your portfolio can absorb the market shocks. That talks about the power of your asset allocation. And when you achieve that, when you see markets are 10% down, my portfolio only 5% down. very good. My advisor has done fantastic job. Okay, that is why asset allocation products should be the core of every investor. Core means, if I have 100 rupees, I should have 50 to 60 rupees in core investments, and then 40% I can do active strategies, I can do PMS, I can do direct equity, I can do active mutual funds. Okay, there I will start paying some alpha strategies, but beta strategies or asset allocation strategies actually should be part of your core portfolio. Okay, which can absorb the market shocks. Now, just a minute about these are the products that we have at Motilal Oswal and passive funds. Currently, more than 7,000 crore, which we are managing when we are talking today. Okay, the international space, we are anyways a market leader, more than 3,000 crores of assets which we are managing as of now. Okay, now your questions must be coming in your mind. Why have we chosen these 4 asset classes? Like, I'll spend 1 minute on each of it. So why not Nifty 500? Why not Nifty Next 50? Why Nifty 500? So when you talk about a mature market, okay, I would like to take your example of Vanguard Mutual Funds. Top mutual fund scheme is not S&P 500, but it is Total Market Fund, which is 1,500 plus stocks, which has large, mid, and small cap exposure. It is world's largest fund. Okay, mutual fund side, in the two passive fund. So this is what we are seeing in Indian market also. Indian markets have been like last 24 years regulated market. Going forward, you will see that when you have a mid cap and small cap in your portfolio, you will be able to beat large caps very, very easily. Okay, and when it is also said, when you don't know what to do, just buy equity market. Nifty 500 covers 95% of the Indian stock market. Okay, so when you buy this, you automatically buy a multi-cap fund. Large cap 100 stocks, mid cap, small cap like 80, 15, and 5%. Total 100% of each. It's a fantastic portfolio. Only Motilal Oswal has this fund on this index. GSEC. Now, when it comes to GSEC, we, our presumptions are okay. It's a very safe portfolio, but it will give you very low yield. I spent 2 decades in the industry. Very honestly, I never studied 5-year GSEC. We always looked at 10-year, we always looked at long term, we always looked at a short term. But 5-year GSEC with a 4-year modified duration, if you understand that side, there's a 4-year modified duration. This portfolio has outperformed all the active debt strategy in last 20 years. All active, whether it is PSU banking fund, your credit risk fund, your dynamic bond fund, your corporate bond fund, all your debt strategies. Okay, that makes this product, because of the in between, the positioning is not long, not short, medium duration, actually gives you such a great return. International fund, we have chosen S&P 500. When you talk about international investments, I would like to give some figure. Like when you talk about US itself, US covers 55% of the international stock market capitalization. Okay, and when you have talked about S&P 500, you cover more than 45% of the entire global stock market. Okay, so when you invest S&P, you are buying 45% of the international stock market. Not only that, S&P 500 revenue, more than 40% revenue comes out of US. So S&P 500 no longer a US or a specific country specific index. It is a global index. All these top guys, including Microsoft, Apple, all FANG stocks. Okay, they have been doing fantastic, including Berkshire Hathaway also. So, and it has a long track record of more than 64 years. Okay, so it's a very stable index. Then commodity, we have chosen gold. Gold has not been a very great return portfolio, but but if you look at how it behaves in the panic situation, whether it is 2001-2, whether it is 2008, 2017, and last year also, whenever there is a panic situation, gold outperforms because gold is the safest asset. Of course, it's a very good inflation hedge. So you need to have some exposure to gold, just to avoid any uncertainties from in the market. Okay, so we've chosen these 4 asset classes. These are the 2 strategies which we are talking about, aggressive and conservative. We will give you more details on this. These are the 4 funds we have chosen. Okay, 3 are Motilal Oswal. Gold ETF we have chosen ICICI Pru because we thought of not launching. There are already 13, 14 gold ETF. Why to launch? Because fund management expenses are pretty high. You have to invest a lot to launch a fund. So what we will be doing, this is the indicative asset allocation. Aggressive will have 50% in domestic equity and 20% in international equity. That makes 70% equity exposure, 20 GSEC and 10% gold. Conservative will have 50 in debt, 30 in domestic, 10 in international. So we are launching these two aggressive and conservative options. They are two different funds. In fact, investor can take the moderate benefit by investing 50-50% in both these things. So this portfolio would look like 40, 35, 15, and 10. Okay, so gold remains 10. Okay, aggressive equity is more, conservative debt is more. And let's see how it performs. Now we will be also rebalancing it. Now we will be reviewing it quarterly. Reviewing means, we will keep a tab on every quarter and what it happens. And if on any quarter, if 5% plus and minus, like if Nifty 500 goes to from 50 to 55%, we will bring it back to 50. Okay, if 5-year GSEC for some reason goes to 15% because of underperformance, we will bring it back to 20%. Okay, so what we are doing, we are selling when markets are high, we are buying when markets are low. Okay, so that will actually rebalance it, will actually make this portfolio more efficient as compared to any other asset class. Yeah, so the whole objective of this strategy is to risk reduction, give maximum return, at the same time reduce the volatility in the portfolio. And the inbuilt rebalancing and underlying funds are passive funds, so it makes a very, very cost-effective product for investors. Let me skip this. Yeah. So see, this is how all 4 asset classes look like for 20 years. But there's a very bumpy ride, and there is a the experience for clients is not so good. Look at these strategies. There are the 3 strategies: aggressive, conservative, and middle line is the moderate. So when you're on financial market, you can't ignore volatility. But at the same time, when you give such a smooth ride to investor stays with you for longer. Okay, he will say, yeah, my advisor has actually given me fantastic products. My losses are lesser and my returns are very consistent. Okay, that makes win investors' confidence. Okay, so such products are very good for those advisors, for those investors who are very new to equity market. Okay, when you want to take to them, you want to acquire new clients, that time you can use such products, and of course it can become a part of core asset allocation also. So performance, if you see, the best part is the performance are in the range. Okay, the 20-year performance is like 15%, 12 or 13% and 14%. Very, very consistent as compared to the other asset classes. But importantly here is what are the volatility. Look at the conservative portfolio has given a volatility of 6 to 8 and able to deliver you double-digit return, more than 10%. So fantastic returns. Okay, that too for a period of 19 plus years. The moderate 8 to 10 and able to give you again good returns. So this is something that we have to achieve. We are not saying that these portfolio will be always at top chart. Okay, it will be definitely in top 5 to 6 funds. But winners keep changing. That every year. But this will be a very consistent performer in the client's portfolio. The SIP returns are also pretty good. You can look at it later. I want to highlight here the 3-year rolling return. What does 3-year rolling return means? When you choose a period of 20 years and when you choose any date, you start from any date, okay, and hold it for 3 years. Okay, what your returns would look like? So median return would look like 12.5 to 11.6, right? So pretty good returns. But making double-digit return probability is very, very high. 80% in aggressive, 71% in conservative. Rajnikant, can you mute your line? A lot of disturbance are coming. Thank you. And combined moderate would give you 77% percent chances to make double-digit return. This is for 3-year return, 3-year rolling return. 5-year, when we stay for 5-year, the negative observation goes away. There was at least 0.1% negative. Here is no negative observation, negative return observation, and so probability increase from 80 to 84, 71 to 83, and 80 to 84%. Okay, so the longer you stay, you definitely make better return than individual asset classes, all because they are mixed properly together. This is why I want to highlight the panic situation. When global crisis happens, how your portfolio reacts. So all clients always look at, suppose from here market goes 50% down, what will happen to my portfolio, right? So these are the periods we have taken only when the maximum losses happen. We have not taken the recovery period. So global financial domestic market lost 60%, S&P lost 33%, but your portfolio lost only 35%. Aggressive. Conservative lost only 15%. This is something very commendable. Okay, taper tantrum, same situation. Yawn deviation. Recent example, COVID-19, 37%. 30% domestic and internationals were down. Your portfolio 25% or 15%. This is the power. Okay, this is a one-stop solution for all the clients, and especially those clients who are very, very risk averse. Okay, and they want to have a stable portfolio. You can start with this and then build on your active strategies on this. Now there is an obvious question: markets are all-time high. What we should be doing? Okay, debt is all-time high, gold all-time high, international all-time high. So we have taken 5 different periods where 4 markets were positive. The peak were very high, and the one situation we have taken the markets was low at P. Okay, and we saw return for 5 years. If you stay invested for 5 years. So it actually doesn't make any difference. In fact, SIP you make better return. Okay, this is SIP. If you lump sum also, if you see, there's again you don't lose out. In fact, you make better return. Okay, when you start at a market peak because of the inbuilt rebalancing. Because whenever any asset classes fall, we are going to buy that asset class more. Whenever any asset class going to go very high or more than 5%, we are going to sell that asset class. Okay, so booking profit happens at market at high, and investment happens at market low. Okay, that makes this portfolio a timeless product. It should be in every client's portfolio. Last 2 slides from me. We try to compare this with this dynamic asset allocation, hybrid fund, balanced advantage fund, multi-asset allocation funds are there, which are there currently in the market. But most these are active funds. Active funds means they are actively managed. The expenses ratios are much higher, which are more than double what investor pay. In aggressive and conservative, your performance are better, and you also end up paying lesser expenses. Of course, these are only fund expenses. If you add the underlying fund expenses, it will be 1%. Okay, it will be around 34 to 40 basis point. But this is mainly happens because of the cost factor 1. And second, it also happens because it shows that the active fund manager are consistently not able to beat market. Consistently, because they take cash call, they switch sectors, and that biasness sometimes or many a times doesn't go with them. Second last slide or last slide, when we are comparing the conservative portfolio, which is a 50% debt, with all the debt strategies, all active debt strategies, PSU banking, corporate bond, credit risk, dynamic bond fund, floating rate, all these strategies. Of course, it's not apple to apple because they're all debt, and this is 50% debt only. But still, the performance are commendable. Okay, it's a very good product for a very, very conservative clients also. So that's all from my side. Just to last slide on the fund, there are 2 funds which are launching, aggressive and conservative. You can choose based on the client's appetite. Expenses are around 60 basis point of the fund and 40 basis point down underlying, so it becomes 1% expense ratio. 500 rupees minimum application, so lump sum SIP 500 rupees. Exit load are 15 days for 15 days only, 1% we will be charging. Okay, if you redeem after 15 days, there is no exit load. Okay. Last thing is taxation will be debt taxation. So if you redeem before 3 years, you will pay the highest tax bracket, and if you redeem after 3 years, you will have to pay. You can take benefit of indexation also. Okay. So that's all from my side. Any questions, any suggestion, any observations, please do throw at us. We are happy to take and answer it.
Thanks, Vinit, for the insightful presentation. And folks, I have unmuted you guys, and talking is permitted. If you have any questions, you can definitely ask your questions. But the one thing which is catching up right now in the investing world is the passive investing. So it helps you in 2-3 different ways, where you remove the fund manager's bias and you reduce your expenses as well on the fund management side. So Pankaj, I'll invite your thoughts on the fund before we wind up the session. Pankaj Shrestha.
Yeah. So basically, this fund is really good, like now, which takes care of the risk also, plus taking care of return also. So basically, here this will be every quarter you'll be rearranging it. How or it's yearly?
No, it is every quarter we will review, and rebalance only will happen when there is a movement of 5%. Okay. So I will tell you historic data. Historic data, we took 20 years data, which is almost 80 quarters. In 80 quarters, we had to rebalance only 19 times in aggressive and 15 times in conservative. Okay, so actually it is less than a year. So 5% is a very, very great barometer. You know, it doesn't, it actually a big number to cross an asset. Okay, but we will suppose on a, for example, on 31st of March, if any asset class is 4.8% up, any asset class or down, we will not do any call. It has to touch 5%.
So 5% up and 5% down both?
Both, yes, yes.
Okay.
So though it's quarterly, but it will happen mostly once a year or less than a year. And what this guy was saying, Piyush was saying is rightly though, there is a heat of, you know, passive funds, and all investors are talking about passive funds. They will want to get into passive funds. Okay. This is one step ahead. This is not only passive funds, but it has a asset allocation, all different asset classes. You're investing at 1%. I think if you don't talk about passive fund, what will happen is the clients will think that, and that's what, you know, because Amphi has created so much of high, you know, all the exchanges are doing so much of big ads and talking about passive funds. If we don't talk about it, then client will think, you know, but this guy is not good for me. Okay, so he should have at least 5-10%, but at least we should talk about it, which will help, you know, to win clients' confidence. That's my submission.
Right.
Anything, Pankaj, from your experience, anything that, or any observation?
Basically, like for this gold,
Apart from this,
ICICI and not Nippon?
Nippon, the expense ratio is 1%.
Huh.
Okay, and this expense ratio is 60 basis point, ICICI.
Okay.
In fact, I was part of the benchmark mutual fund team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which so when this Nippon Gold ETF was part of benchmark mutual fund, and I launched that.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about 2007.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it's like 13-14 years. So I've been, for a long time, I'm in passive funds.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Because I worked very closely with Prabhudas Leeladhar those days. You know, I worked with all the broking house very closely those days, from 2007 to 2010.
Okay. Right.
So guys, the floor is open if you have any other questions. Maybe Abhijit, Prabhakar, Ravi, anybody, Sachin, you want to ask anything before we wind up?
Any observation also, not necessarily has to be question. You know.
Great. So actually, for this session, actually, we had to request NSE to stop trading. So thanks, Vikas, for your attendance.
Thank you so much.
And I hope
thank you so much, you guys giving time.
So thank you all of you for participating, and it was at a very short call. So again, apologies for inviting you at a short call. But anyways, you know, NSE was not working, so you have not lost on the market momentum. So thanks Vikas and Rohit again for your presence, and I'll be ending the session now. Thank you everyone for your participation.
Thank you everyone. Thank you Piyush for giving us the opportunity.
Piyush, please do share the commercial with your team. Okay, whatever you shared. I think very interesting.
Yeah, that is more important.
Yeah. So see what we are paying. What we are paying here is 60 basis point is a trail that we will be paying you guys. Okay, 60 basis point expense ratio. So same trail we will be paying to you. But on top of that, during NFO, we are paying you 50 basis point upfront as a marketing expenses. So suppose you guys collect 1 crore. Okay, so we'll be paying you 50,000 rupees upfront. That will come as a marketing. Okay, so you can book that income before March. Okay, that's a fantastic opportunity. So we thought of sharing. Of course, these are passive funds, very cost effective. So 1.1% at passive fund is very, very aggressive, believe me. And that too upfront also we are paying you at 50 basis point.
Yeah, and the 3rd of March is the last date for the NFO closure.
5th of March. 5th of March, next Friday. 5th of March, yeah, next Friday.
So guys, it's a great opportunity both for the client as well as for us as an advisor, where the commissions and the revenue structure is also very lucrative. So I hope that you will just have a look at this scheme as well. And I'll send you and share the PPT also with all of you. and let's see if we can really do something meaningful with this NFO.
Thank you, Piyush, and thank you, team.
Thank you guys, and I'm just ending the session. Thanks for your presence.
Thank you.